Hi, my name is Hayden Whirly, aka Whirl, to the NDSU Rocket League Club. I'm from a town in Minnesota called Grand Rapids, and currently I am attending North Dakota State University for a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I started playing Rocket League in 2015. I'm proud to have the established in 2015 title in the game. Kind of makes up. Sometimes I wear it proudly, but sometimes when I get defeated, some people comment on the fact that I'm from 2015 and I still lost, so that's fun. I don't even know how many hours I have. I think the in-game it says I only have like a day in the game, which I know is not true. So I'm guessing I have close to 1,000 hours, probably a little bit less though. That's probably where I'd say I'm at. Back in 2015, like I said, when I started, me and my buddy Alex Nader, we started playing the game. We were talking about it one day. I think we saw like a clip of like Justin, or it might have been like the "This Is Rocket League" clip, and we were like, "This game's pretty cool." And we were both played soccer at the time, so obviously like combining, cool cars with soccer sounded like a good idea. So he got the game on his Switch, and I started playing on. I know, Switch gamer, gross. And then I started playing on my PlayStation 4. I found out about the club just by a simple Google search, actually. So, like I said, I started playing in 2015, and at that point I was like a diamond or low champ. And I transferred to NDSU starting my junior year of school here. That was like my main game that I played, and I just was like, this would be kind of fun if they had like a team or something that I could join. So I Googled NDSU Rocket League or something like that, and found the club on some website there, joined the Discord, and then met K-Tool or Trey, one of those two from there. My favorite memory from Rocket League has to be just like when I first started playing Rocket League with my friend Alex Nader, like I said earlier. We would just like, he would come over and we would just play in my room, and it would get like 90 degrees in there. We were both just like sweating. But those are some of like the best moments in my Rocket League career. Just having fun, messing around, trolling a little bit. It was a lot of fun just kind of hanging out with my friend and bonding over a video game. I chose my in-game name. Pretty simple. My in-game name is Whirl, and my full name is Hayden Whirly. So my name over the years, I think my original gamer tag was like Whirlpool 135 or something like that. And I've just kind of consistently carried that with different versions of it. Like I've been Whirlpool 135, Whirlpool, and then I just shortened it to Whirl. It's easier to say. I think my biggest strength in this game is definitely my speed. That's like the main thing that I think about whenever I play Rocket League, especially like competitively over like the past semester and with the NDSU club or whatever. My main thing that I thought about was just like rotate fast, get off the ball fast, and go up to the ball fast and try and beat your opponent or try and steal their boost fast. Like those are the main two things that I think about when I'm playing Rocket League. Like when I'm sweating, is like be really fast at like everything I do, and like just like accelerate my thought process and try and be at the ball or be at the same place that someone else is trying to be, but faster. That's what I think my biggest strength is. I'd say my biggest weakness probably comes from my biggest strength. So when I'm trying to be so fast, that does result in some inconsistency, like challenging the ball. Like sometimes I'll just completely whiff because I'm trying to go for a ball too fast, or I'll just be thinking about being so fast that I'll forget about, basic like positioning stuff, and I'll be out of position maybe. So I think it's a lack of like thought process, I guess you could say, because I'm just trying to be so fast. I'm trying to be fast that I end up skipping over other aspects of the game. The biggest obstacle I overcame was definitely this past season with my boy and teammate Spoon. We obviously, as you heard in his interview, if you listen to it, we won the Division B championship together. Although we didn't have too much trouble with many of the teams, our biggest obstacle was definitely being able to win that division, and we ended up doing that. And it was a little bit daunting in the process of it, but we were able to overcome it and come out on top. I came into this last season was my first season in the league actually that I ended up winning, and didn't really have any expectations coming into it. Didn't really know what was going on half the time at the beginning. I knew there was like a draft where someone would pick me as a teammate or whatever, and ended up being on Spoon's team. He ended up picking me. He said there is really no rhyme or reason why he picked me. I think I was just next on the list as far as like MMR rankings go, and he said Whirlpool sounds like a cool name, and I think he picked me. So that was kind of our origin story. We're just nothing really special. But then over this course of the season, we started becoming really good friends together, to the point where we've been golfing a couple times. We went out to eat quite a few times now. I mean, we're really good friends. And minus all of like the winning that we did and all the success we had, I think it's gonna sound cheesy, but the biggest thing I gained from that was a really good friend, and it was awesome to be able to experience that. My future aspirations for my game in Rocket League is definitely a consistency thing. So right now I think I have it pretty down of like that mindset of being fast. But if I can be fast and consistent, I think that's what's gonna escalate me into like, because right now I think I'm like champ 2. I think that consistency aspect is what's gonna bump me up to close to champ 3 or even GC, which is my goal. So definitely consistency. School for me throughout the years, starting in high school, a lot of people probably don't know this about me, but I was a band nerd. I was in marching band, specifically the drum line. That kind of shaped a lot of who I was and what I did in high school. Made a lot of lifelong friends on the drum line. I love music, I love drums, and I've played in a couple different like impromptu like little bands here and there with my friends from hometown, and I like playing drum set. I was in jazz band and stuff like that. And obviously during that time I enjoyed playing video games. I started playing in 2015, which would have been my freshman year in high school. So I played Rocket League just very casually. I never really played competitively or even got ranked through our high school. I just played a lot with my friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I was on the drum line. I shot competitive trap and skeet for my high school. Did pretty well in that. I think I got like 10th in the state in skeet shooting or something like that. Started playing golf in high school. And also met my current girlfriend my senior year in high school. I think we've been dating for 3 years and a couple months now, which is pretty cool. And then so after high school, I started school at Itasca Community College in my hometown of Grand Rapids. Started there for 2 years, and then I transferred over to NDSU. I've only been there for a semester technically now. And then my second semester I took an internship / co-op with a Bobcat. And that's kind of where we're at now. As far as grades went and stuff like that, I did pretty well. I always took like advanced classes like that. Like I said, I was a band nerd, so I took all advanced classes to kind of stay with my group of people from band because they all did it. And then I found a passion for, I found myself excelling in the science / STEM field with math and stuff like that. So that's kind of what pushed me to be an engineer. There's a couple teachers that I really enjoyed there that I still text with one of them. Shout out Mr. Olson. I'm probably not going to hear this, but still text with one of them. And yeah, my major in college is, as I mentioned before, mechanical engineering. And I kind of already touched on this, but I just always have found myself being kind of like a creative person, always finding a need to make things as efficient as possible, I guess you could say. That's always just kind of been my mindset with quite literally everything I do. So I went down the engineering path. I don't really have anybody in my family, close family, that is an engineer, so it's kind of like a new thing. And I don't fully know what I'm doing, but I'm finding that I really enjoy my co-op currently. It's a lot of fun, and when you're able to have fun and during your job, it doesn't feel like a job at all, so that's pretty cool. So right now, the other games that I play mainly is Valorant. I'm a big Valorant junkie right now. I think I've probably spent about $120 on skins. Absolute robbery, but hey man, skins, it's a buff, so you gotta do it. Other than that, this game called Chivalry 2, it's kind of like an open world, like old style game that you basically just go around and like chop people's heads off. It's pretty fun just to do mindlessly when you're like stressed or whatever. Just go cut people's heads off. It's pretty fun. Yeah, those are pretty much the only games I play other than Rocket League at the moment. So the sports I play right now, my main one is probably golf. I go golfing a lot with my good friend from my hometown who is also going to be partaking in the upcoming Rocket League season. His name is Chris Rooney. We golf a lot together, probably 2-3 times a week. And then I go to the range a lot after work. It's just very therapeutic to hit a ball and watch it disappear in the distance. Something about it's just really nice. And then other than that, the town I'm from is very hockey heavy, so there's a pretty big like hockey culture there. Pretty much everybody knows how to skate and stuff like that. So I was a rink attendant during high school, which basically shovel off the ice and keep it nice. So I was a rink rat in high school. So now I've been going to Shields Arena like once or twice a week and playing hockey with like a group of guys, fully padded and stuff, which is super fun, new experience for me. And I get to lose my COVID-19 pounds, so that's fun.
What's your favorite song/artist?
My favorite song/artist right now. Well, we'll start with, it's definitely Young Gravy. I love myself some Young Gravy. And as far as my favorite song is definitely Whip a Tesla by Young Gravy. I don't know. I think if American watches this, he knows this about me, but while Spoon and I were destroying everybody in the weekly twos league this past semester, always bumping to some Young Gravy. So shout out to Young Gravy, man. You helped me out. My family is really big into like dirt oval racing. So my grandpa, who has sadly passed away now, was always really big into into dirt oval racing. He used to race when I was really little, and then as I got older, he bought like a vintage sprint car, and there's like a vintage racing club that he partook in, and I'd always go to the track with him and watch him race, and I kind of enveloped that passion. I have like a racing rig on my computer, like a little steering wheel and pedals and stuff, and I do a lot of races on there. My other passion, also from my grandpa/dad, is flying planes. So both my dad and grandpa are private pilots, and they shared a plane as I grew up, and we lived on the lake, so we would just keep the plane down by our lake shore. And I plan to get my private pilot's license when I get older, a little bit older, and have a little bit more money because it's super expensive. So I also plan to inherit that hobby. And other than that, it's just like I said, golf and hockey. Those are my main hobbies, other than Rocket League, of course. So yeah, my family has always been semi-supportive of me gaming. During high school and stuff, when I was still living with them, there was times where they didn't always like me sitting in my room all day gaming. But I think they don't mind as much now. They kind of just accept it that it's one of my hobbies, and it's the same as, what my mom or dad would have done as a hobby as they were a kid. It's just a hobby. And I think they've kind of accepted that as I've gotten older, and they can't really control it anyways, so oh well. Yeah, the first ever game I remember playing as a kid, a video game that is, has to be this old like Demolition Derby game that I used to play on with my parents' old computer. Basically, it sounds as easy as it is. You basically like spawn in as a car, and you just go ram other cars. I probably could have played that all day if they would have let me, but yeah, I think that's my first video game. It's either that or this old like sprint car racing game that they used to have on their computer too. It's one or the other, I don't really know. Yeah, I think the hardest thing that I've ever had to overcome so far, and I'm gracious that I've had it pretty easy throughout my whole life. I haven't really had any like traumatizing events or anything, and I'm gracious that I've kind of had it that way. But I think definitely the hardest thing was my grandpa passing away. It would have been last year. he was one of my biggest role models in my life, and he passed away due to just health issues and stuff like that. And yeah, it was super hard, man. I never had to. That was kind of my first time dealing with that type of thing, and yeah, he was like, yeah, I worked for him. He owned a car wash, and I worked for him since I was like literally 8 years old, and so spent a lot of time with that guy, and yeah, I was sad to see him go. So that was the hardest thing I had to overcome, but I know he still lives vicariously through, you know, through my dad and me and everybody else, which kind of motivates me and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd have to say my favorite fast food place to eat at, definitely McDonald's. Can't really beat it. They have this like, I consider it a hack. I'm a pretty plain, I have pretty plain taste buds. So I don't really like a lot of stuff on the things I eat. And I found this like food that's like really cheap and also just like fits my taste buds at McDonald's. It's like the $3 meal deal with like a McDouble and a small fry. You get 2 of those babies and it fills you up, and it's only like $6. It is wonderful. And I probably have eaten that way too many times, but hey man, I'm in college, who cares? If I could choose anywhere to travel in the world, it would definitely probably be somewhere in the UK. I don't know what I like about the UK. I used one of like the this is gonna sound really stupid, but I don't have too much of a travel bug if I'm being honest. I'm pretty comfortable just staying put, which is fine. But one of the YouTube groups that I've watched since I was like 10 years old is the Sidemen, and that's like the only like insight I have on like European countries. So I guess I'd just go to the UK, somewhere in London maybe. Yeah, so if I had to mess up one person in the club in a fight, I'll just take the easy answer and go with my boy Spoon. I would rock that kid, and he knows it. He challenged me in his video. Hey man, we can get a well, I guess you're going to UMD now, so I guess it's not really an NDSU, but it could be an NDSU versus UMD boxing match. I'd be open to it. I'll mess you up, kid. Yeah, sure.